So what does it take? Who should be that person?
You want the honest truth? To build that company, I had to get on my knees, open floor panels and lay cables, right? That's part of the growth. You're going to rely on your team if you're not there. Your client, if he feels while interacting with that team that they are just as passionate, they have the exact same values, they believe in everything Bassem believes in, then they feel comfortable. You need to be hungry. Do today what others won't to live tomorrow like others can't.
Again?
Do today what others won't. Won't is a decision. I will not.
Do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes. Get me that freaking deal. Anything that follows after that line, I don't believe. I'm not going to do whatever it takes.
I feel like if I do something bad, it's going to come back to me.
100%.
So that's why I don't do it. It's just a decision how you want to live your life.
Yeah.
How many people is your company now?
So we have 2,500 employees in the UAE, and now growing to we're launching a new project in Fujairah as well. That's gonna be around 500 seats. Plus we have some in the region. We expanded to Bahrain 3 years ago. I expanded to Oman, or we expanded to Oman about 10 years ago. So these are our regional footprints that we have. So yeah, it's a big team, big team.
So you scaled the company to thousands of people.
We did, right? I don't like the word I did, but so when I joined the organization I'm with today, I don't know if I can plug it in, but yeah, when I joined the organization I work today, it was a 50, 60 employee company, which is still a large company or a big company when you talk about Dubai standards.
How many years ago is that?
That was 2019.
2019. So 6-7 years ago. 6-7.
Yeah. March 2019. And again, it's just a leap of faith that I took being in the industry that I work with. There are 5-6 global multinational players in the BPO space. They're very well known, billion-dollar companies and above. I used to be VP of business development for an EMEA region for one of the largest, actually the largest BPO in the world. Safe job. I don't want to say safe job, but MNC job all the way at the top of the ladder, reporting into a group CEO, making X money, and I was happy and whatever. And I bumped into the founder of the company I work with now. I can't even remember where. One of the events, Jitex, something like that, right? And we clicked. There was a human connection. Nothing about business. We clicked once. And fast forward a couple of years, I get a call saying, hey, we're at Data Direct. And I was like, well, it's Data Direct, I can't even remember. Rajiv, who's the founder, blah, 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 wants to catch up. So we sit down. He says, we clicked, and I'm looking for someone that can help me achieve X, Y, and Z. So, and it was a point in my career where I said, you know what? Okay, I'm 44 now, so I must have been 36, 37, around that age. I'm at, in my point of view, the most important period of anyone's career is your mid to late 30s. That's when you build your career. There are people that do it a lot sooner, people that do it later. There's all these slogans about it's never too late and whatever. But I said, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith and join. And it's been a very, very interesting journey since that was built on trust. This guy said, okay, I want X, Y, Z. I said, okay, tamam, give me the key and watch. That's how it's going to work. And that's something that I've built my entire career on, trust. He trusted that, okay, we clicked. He knows my experience. He saw what I did with other companies. And at the same time, I trusted that, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith with this company. It's a smaller organization. I'm going to prove that I can do it. So yeah, that's how it started. But yeah, we scaled from 50 employees to almost 3,000 employees in 7 years.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. I feel it gives me goosebumps still today. It's one of my biggest
You should
success.
be proud of yourself, man. It's impressive.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Bravo. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, man. And it took a lot of people, right? It's not a one-man show.
Of course.
Like you said, especially when it comes to our industry. We were just talking before that our industries are built around people, and the people that are sometimes not in the light show and visible, there are people in the back. But yeah, it's been a very interesting journey, and it's still going on.
طيب I'm interested not only in the success, I'm interested in what it took. And I have a couple of questions for you. So I know because I'm a founder myself, managing partner, and I know that it takes, pressure, sacrifices, decisions that nobody sees. And these are the moments that shapes us as leaders today.
Yeah.
So let me start here. What did it cost you to build something of that size?
Ooh, that is a very interesting question. What did it cost me to build something of that size? So you want the honest truth? It didn't feel that hard. I'm being 100% honest. It did not feel that hard. And because my biggest passion that I realized being in this industry, by the way, I'm a computer engineer, so I'm an engineering background, right? ما اشتغلتش ببصلة in engineering, as in I did not go into the field that I was supposed to go into as per my educational background, right? What clicked for me is, and also walking into this industry is something that was, I don't want to say by chance, but I'm someone that likes to test cliches and slogans. When people say, it's too good to be true, or let's say, whatever the slogan is, it's never over till it's over.
Yeah.
But when you hear that nowadays, it's just a cliche, it's a slogan. Before I judge that it's a cliche and a slogan, I believe in it 100%. So I walked into this industry because of one slogan that says, never say no to an opportunity. Whether it is an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to, whatever the opportunity is, just listen. Even if I'm sitting with you today and say, Ahmed, listen, I want you to become my partner, hypothetically speaking. If the common sense, because I have no clue what you do, or not the common sense, the common practice would be, what do you guys, I can't do it, it's not, I'd rather focus on what I do. Even if that's the common sense, listen to put the opportunity in front of you and weigh it first before you make that decision. So that's one slogan that has actually helped me become in this industry. And the way I started in this industry, believe it or not, I was still in uni, was picking up my girlfriend. She was in a graveyard shift in what we call our industry night shift, right? So I was picking up my girlfriend from work. I was not even thinking about work or what I want to do. I'm still taking my allowance from my dad. I was in school, uni, and whatever. Get to this company, a guy opens up the door. Hey, I'm here to pick up my girlfriend. He goes, do you work here? I said, no. He said, do you want to work here? I said, no, I'm here to pick up my girl, man. So he goes, Matthew, interview this kid. I was like, okay, my girlfriend still has it's 10 minutes, I swear. And it ended up being the founder of the company, the owner of the company, that opened the door. But I didn't know. I was just a guy in a suit and I'm here to pick up my girl. So, and there's even a funny story about that interview with this Matthew guy that I still know. And this is 25 years ago when I walked into this industry. And it's a typical interview process. Hey, why do you want to work here? I don't want to work here, man. I'm here to pick up my girl. But okay, give it a shot, whatever. I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll make some extra bucks next to work and next to uni and whatever. And I'll get to spend more time with my girlfriend. I was young, right? I was like 19, 20. Go through training, sit down. And it's a telesales environment. It's a contact center environment. And that's what we do today, right? 3 days, 4 days into it, I'm seeing, okay, this is cool. I'm talking to people. And it was a US company, right? So I'm talking to people across the US, and I used to call businesses. So I'm talking to millionaires. I'm hearing their story, hearing whatever. And I think we kind of, we maybe spoke about it before in the gym or something like that. I can't even remember. What clicked with me is one day I was helping another trainee, which was 5 days into work. This was an opener-closer environment where you have an opener where the agents are sitting down. I was an agent. Hey, you're my manager, closer. I qualify a lead and I get you on the call to help me close that lead or close that deal. And we all are the trainees, which I was part of. There was a girl maybe 2 seats away and she qualified the lead and we used to have flags on our desk. So like literally wave a flag so the closers could run across the floor and jump on the call. And nobody was there. So you know what? I'm just going to jump on the call.
You did it.
I jumped on the call and I was, what? This is easy. I mean, it just takes knowing, or at least it was easy for me. It takes good hearing skills.
Yeah.
And anyway, 2 minutes, 3 minutes into it, and I closed the deal for this person. And what clicked for me that made me realize that this is something I really love was not the adrenaline of closing the deal, getting the person to sign a check and send it over a fax, because that was like an LOA, letter of authorization. That was the thing back in the day. Was seeing how happy this person was to achieving something at her job. The look on her face of that she's going to make that extra bonus or commission or grow or whatever it is what gave me the why I want to do this job or why I want to be in this field. You'll make money throughout your career. You'll grow throughout your career as long as, in my point of view, as you have your why. And this is something that I've also learned recently. Simon Sinek, you know him?
Of course.
Of course you do, right? Never thought of a why until I heard. But then when I track back, because that was my why, that's why I was successful in my point of view. So yeah, it's been a very interesting journey.
So building a 2,500 company comes at a cost somehow. Don't you feel it costed you something? Friends,
obviously time
away from family,
so
health. Because a lot of people say, you know what, managing a 2,500 company is not managing a 20
No,
size.
it's not.
No, is it? Some people say it actually becomes easier because you have directors at multiple levels. And some say, no, it's the other way around. It becomes more challenging because you have more stakeholders, you have more investors, stakes are high, stakes are bigger.
True, but the three things that you just mentioned, which typically most people would say that they've had to sacrifice, friends, less friends, family at the time away from family, health. So I spend more time, or as much time, I'm not going to say more time, as much time in the office than as much as I spend with my family, right? So
that didn't change?
No, so it still didn't change because I know, again, it's going to sound like a cliche, but I look at our team and the people that I work with on a daily basis as friends and family. Whether I'm a peer, I'm a subordinate of someone, I'm a manager of someone, I always tell people nobody's anybody's manager in this company.
Yeah,
there are people that are lead certain people, but there's no. In my point of view, you cannot manage a person. You can lead a person towards success. You can lead a person towards a certain goal. But so, did I sacrifice? Yes, I had to sacrifice time away from my family. Right.
So you did.
Of course. I mean, of course. I mean, I spend as much time as I do in the office than I do with my family at home. But they also understand that. Yeah. They understand that that's what it takes, and to become successful, it's not time away, but dedication, right? And from a health perspective, I agree with you. It also puts a toll on the health if you don't wake up one day and say, okay, if I continue the way I am, it's just as I'm dedicated at work, your body is work as well. You need to stay healthy, eat well, work out, whatever it is. But yeah, it costs. It does put a toll on you. But honestly, and I'm not BSing you, and again putting slogans or anything. It didn't feel that hard because of the people that are around you. Our industries are built around people,
right?
And it's important to be surrounded by people that have the same goals and values and those same drivers I'm not necessarily the same wise, but so now it didn't feel that hard. I'm being completely honest. And I know it might sound too cocky, but it didn't feel that hard.
You're right. I feel the same.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I'm building something that I love building.
Absolutely.
And when you became CEO, what did you understand about leadership that others didn't?
What did I understand about leadership that others didn't? So in my point of view, when you're the person that everybody looks to, right? Because CEO or general manager or the top of the food chain or whatever you want to call it. Not food chain, I'm sorry, that's a bad way to say it, but at the top of the pyramid, everybody looks to you, whether it is your internal stakeholders, your shareholders, your employees, the staff, everybody looks towards you, as well as your external partners and clients, potential clients, vendors, etc., etc. And what has helped me realize that, again, that, and also made it easy is, and I know it's going to sound again cheesy, it's the team that I built. It's the team that we built around this success. Because, see, in our industry, and I'm pretty sure it's similar in a lot, there's middle management and big layers of support elements that are needed to keep this 2,000 employee base. 2,500 employees is not a joke, especially in the UAE, especially when it's predominantly expat driven. And there's a lot of logistics and so on. And we have 7 sites, 7 offices in the country across different emirates. And every location has its own macro dynamics in terms of commitment levels and variables and so on. So what I realized that I can't do it alone. Anybody, in my point of view, that it requires a strong team to be, you still need to lead them. You still need to give them, not lead, but give them the vision of this is what we need to do and so on. But it's building a team that has as much as possible from the same values that you have and the same beliefs that you have in your workplace, which should be the same values that you have outside your workplace, even at home.
What kind of values do you have and your team has?
So, in our office, everywhere you go, or at least in my office now, another slogan. I know it sounds cheesy. I'm a slogans guy, but that's what I believe in them. Do today what others won't to live tomorrow like others can't.
Again?
Do today what others won't. Won't is a decision. I will not. Do today what others won't, which means I'm not going to do that extra mile. I'm not going to stay and take that call. My shift is at 5. I'm just going to wait on break. So it's a decision to do so you can live tomorrow like others can't. So make the choices, the harder choices now that some people make a decision to not make for taking the path of least resistance. It's just easier to not do it. It's a bigger risk if I do it. Whatever the reasoning behind the choice of not making that. So you can reap the rewards of making those choices that you made versus someone else's. So that's one of my biggest drivers is that, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to leave the MNC just like you did, right? You left the MNC world and being part of the multinationals of the world and so on and decide, you know what? That is doing today what others, or you did that 12, 13 years ago, when others didn't want to. A lot of people could have in your field, I'm pretty sure, but they made the decision, you know what? I won't do it. It's risky. It's whatever the reasoning is. And I'm pretty sure that some of them are still employees getting paid check to check.
Right.
And at least that's the rationale I have, right? And that's what has helped me.
And is that a value?
It builds values, right? Making those or having those ideologies or statements or slogans, whatever you want to call them. Okay, I know the word slogan makes it sound a bit lesser of a statement than it is because it's not. That's how I live in everything that I do. So it does build certain values, right? Making values that, like for example, from a statement like that, or because that's how I think in everything I approach, people know that I'm someone that doesn't look at anybody in the organization as hierarchy based. Right.
Inferior. Got you.
Right. That's one of the values that you build because of that. Because when I joined this company, I was VP of blah, 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 and whatever, and suits and all that shenanigans. To build that company, I had to get on my knees, open floor panels and lay cables, right? As part of the growth, right?
So, and people see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you start attracting the people that are like you, and the people that are not like you, they start leaving.
Yep.
And is everybody like you in that sense? Everybody's following that slogan. Everybody's doing things today. Like, are you happy that you have this team, or let's be honest for a second.
I am. Okay.
And I'm telling you
because I'm very straightforward, and you can tell that.
And I'm asking because it's always that dilemma of letting go of people that are not as good in certain areas.
Correct.
So I like to have people, just like you like to have people that are like you. I like to have people that are like me.
Yeah.
That have a winning attitude and they want to make it big in every area of their lives, right? And whatever they're interested in. So when I work with people that are lazy, or that I tell them, for example, hey, do you know how to do this? And they say, no, I don't know how to do it. And that's it. And I'll be like,
okay, so
what do you do? What did you do? What do you do? Are all these people like
very
you?
good question.
You're happy with all of them?
I love the question. I've in my last, so I've been in managerial positions or in management now in my career, so maybe 15 to 18 years out of the 25. So I was in entry-level jobs, then I got promoted, right? Wallah, I don't remember letting go of anybody. I remember a lot of people falling off, a lot of people leaving, a lot of people not, because you hit it right on the head, right? So am I happy with, or are we happy as an organization with the team that we've built or the team that are in place? 100%. And I'm when you said that statement while I was listening to what you're saying, I was remembering the people. I was remembering the people that click these values in my mind, that yes, I have the same sense of ownership. And we were just in a meeting last week with the founder and we were speaking and so on. 100%. What will end up happening is, so if you lead in a certain person in a certain way with these values and this mindset and this drive, because people look up to you and look at you as the leader, and they see the results that, yep, we're growing. Yep, we just signed a multi-million-dollar contract. Yep, that was led by this mindset and so on. Then they start following. They start, you know what? Yep, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to not worry about this is my job and this is not, I'm going to not, I'm in project management. I should not do IT or vice versa. I always we're a 23-year-old organization, the company that I work with. I say we're a 23-year-old startup. It's everybody in our management team, the people that we've built, feels that this place is theirs. There's a sense of ownership. At the end of the day, we're all employees. We all get a salary based on the input that we put in. But the sense of ownership and the sense of accountability that you build, if you're lucky enough, in my point of view, if you're lucky enough to build a team, your core team that has that sense of accountability and sense of ownership, that, you know what, this company is mine. Even if I'm an employee, I don't have shares, I don't have X, I'm just an employee. But if you're lucky enough to build a core team, and that's where we got lucky or fortunate with the team that we put together, to have that goes beyond any experience, any certificates, any training, any people development that you can do for your middle management and above, right? So yes, we're very happy with the team, and at least I'm very happy with the team. And we're growing.
I should have asked you a different question, because of course you're going to say you're happy with your team.
No, man, they know me. They're going to watch this.
Exactly.
No, they know me.
Another reason why I shouldn't have asked you this question.
No.
Let me ask it to you in a different way. Not about your team. Your team is the best.
Okay. No, wallah, I'm serious.
Do you guys hear?
No, that's how I feel.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. If I didn't have, or if a CEO, you know what? I don't want to spend time on this. I want to spend time on you. Okay. I'm going to ask you another question.
It's all right. No, this is nice. This is interesting. No, and listen, I'm very passionate about it.
I want to get information from you about your experiences.
Okay.
And can you build such a big organization? Can you build, I'm going to ask it with a hook.
With a hook?
Can you build a 2,000 person company without stepping on anyone?
You step on your competition. I'm just
internally.
Stepping on anyone, no. So again, I think it's not, maybe the word stepping on anyone is rough.
It's the reality. But corporate.
Yeah,
that's the corporate reality.
No,
man.
It's true. It's true. So people,
and that's, sorry, but I have to add to that the context a bit, because sometimes you might get the positions because you're good.
Yeah.
But sometimes in the corporate world, because you and I have been in it, there's a lot of competition. There are a lot of people that want that seat.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you have to push as well, because they're pushing you. So
so let me rephrase it, okay? Just so we can, for the audience. So maybe not step on someone, right? And I don't want to say the word pushed people out.
You want to say backstab?
No, I don't want to say, because it's the common terminology, right?
No, it's the same.
Push people out, you stepped on them, whatever.
It's the same idea, it's the same meaning.
Yeah, correct. But because I agree, but because our growth, alhamdulillah, over the past 4 or 5 years has been phenomenal. It's been breakout growth. We've been seeing 50% year-on-year growth for the past 3 to 4 years minimum. 50% year-on-year growth, right? Which is...
Were you the only candidate? Were you the only valid candidate to have that CEO role back then?
So when I joined, so again, titles didn't really matter, and it still doesn't matter to me. When I joined, I was given a mandate, regardless what the title was, or whether there was and I don't know if there was any other candidates that they looked at or looked at
but not
prior
internally.
to me. But there were people that they tried in the past and didn't
not
work
internally.
out. No, not internally.
Okay.
Not internally. Okay. But going back to the stepping over people or pushing people out and so on, what I was saying is when the growth is that fast and the organization itself sees that your value in that growth is very minimal, if not zero, 2 things will happen. Either you will step out because you feel left out, that, you know what, the company is growing, there's people doing left, and it's not because the company is telling Bassem to go do 1, 2, 3. Bassem is doing 1, 2, 3 because he feels that it's going to help our growth. It's going to, etc. So yes, we did lose a couple of people throughout the route, throughout the growth. Not because they didn't have the same values. People have their own values and their own beliefs and their own moral compasses, or
they just didn't like the slogans.
No, yeah, you're right. Maybe it is the slogans. Maybe it was, but they just fell off, right? Yeah. Because it's hard, especially when in an industry as competitive as yours or ours. Yeah. We're in our industry. Yes, it's a niche vertical or a niche industry, but it's very competitive. We work with government. It's very demanding.
Of course.
We work with MNCs, very aggressive in terms of costing and pricing and what they want and so on and so forth. So if you, regardless what values you have and what slogans you believe in, right? If you don't put your value towards that growth, either you're going to be left out, and if you're that senior or in the middle management, you'll probably walk out because you see that you're not giving any value, or you're going to be pushed out, right? Through an internal person that takes on your role.
You never had that? So you had people come in and they wanted to take your role?
Oh, plenty.
In that organization?
No.
Okay. So maybe, that's why these questions are a little bit
so
irrelevant.
Most of the people that are there pushed towards it. So I was just looking at business development. My role was more on commercial and so on.
Who? The investors? They wanted you?
Yeah. So
okay, makes sense.
Right? Because, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So
so maybe these questions are relevant because you could be a senior manager and you wanted to become the general manager, but you're not the only senior manager.
Yeah.
And I've been in such situations in my past experiences where I'm not the only candidate for that next step.
Yeah.
And then I had to fight. I had to not fight, but I had to show that I am the right candidate.
Absolutely.
Of course, the people on top, they see who they want. But you need to prove yourself over and over and over and over and over and over. And sometimes the corporate, you clash and there's backstabbing and people talk bad about 100%. Each other.
But let me ask you a question. Let me flip the table or flip that. Because I've been in that position as well within my organization. Layer, senior managers, whatever you want to call it. Managers, ops managers, whatever it is, right? All peers, as they say in the hierarchy, we're all sit on the same level, pay scale, same title, right?
Yeah.
And we're all part of the core team that is building this company that manages this company. And suddenly, Bassem becomes a manager on top of them. Not on top because I hate hierarchies, but Bassem becomes their leader, right? Because that is also one of the, in my point of view, how I was able to succeed in my growth personally as Ahmed or as Zach, right? Because throughout your career, you will be put in positions where you are part of a team that is part of the growth. And because I'm not going to say you're better, but because you put in the extra work, people see certain
more
values.
Qualified for that.
Yeah, whatever. You become their lead, right? A lot of times, if you don't work with that core team, and because the reason I bring this up is because I remember in one of the companies that I used to work for, we were all managers running operations, etc. There was a floor of maybe 500 people, and there was a company-wide meeting the next day. Nobody knew why it was, and there was another person that both of us were branch managers, and we both reported into someone, but I can't remember who we reported into. And we were very good friends, and we were both very successful. Our teams were the biggest teams, strongest teams on the floor. We always hit our numbers. We were always very full of energy operationally, and so on and so forth. And we were friends. His name is Mike Roberts. I still remember until this day. And this was 15 years ago, maybe more than 15 years ago. Anyways, company meeting next morning. Nobody knows why. It was just a company-wide meeting, and we used to have these big microphones in the company, and the CEO was like speaking, whatever. And I find out I got promoted. The first thought that came to mind, and the first thing I did was look Mike straight in the eye. Not the happiness of, yep, I got promoted, I'm better. Not the drive, oh, I'm going to make more money, I'm going to get a bigger salary, bigger office, whatever it is. Because I realized that in order for me to succeed in that role, I need Mike. I need that core team that you just left, that you were part of. And so it just goes back to the question is, did you have someone that the company also looked at, or were there internal competitors that for that role? I don't look, if it's not about competitors, because that team or that core team is the reason you succeeded. So if you lead, or if you suddenly become a lead and you look at them as subordinates or my team, or you don't make sure that engine still runs as good as it did so you can get promoted or you can get that role, then it's bound to fail, right? So yes, there was internal people that were looked at, but if you work on building those these trust relationships with the internal people, with your team, and make sure that we all have the same values, which again, I said we're lucky to have, and so on, then they'll back you. And that's what ended up happening. And that's what happened to me throughout my career in all my promotions or all my leadership roles that I had, alhamdulillah, and touch wood.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. So.
What was the hardest person you ever had to let go? Or who was the hardest person? Or what was the hardest person you had to let go? And why?
Let go? Again, it's going to sound cheesy. I did not let go of anybody. People left.
Tell us the interview is over, man. I think you're the
people left. No, that is the real. That is the fact. I did not have to let go or push someone out, because at least in the middle management and the people that helped us get to where we are today are people that were within the organization, the people that got promoted from the organization. So most of the people that are in my middle management team today, or our management team, have been with the company for the past 7 to 10 years. Some people started as call center agents, are now project managers and site heads. So, but there was, I mean, there was, I'm remembering now. So it was, see, when in the industries that we're in that are not regulated, they're free markets where you can sell at whatever price and different margins and whatever. We hired a very successful salesperson in our industry that had very solid experience backing him or her up, right? Without going to them up, right? Person came on board, and because I was a salesperson, and I always tell myself I'm just a commercial CX, whatever. I love sales. I love commercial. I love talking with people. بلاش sales. I like communicating with people. You tend to sometimes under pressure, and I'm pretty sure you've seen that, bend the truth to a point where even, I don't want to say lie, but over-exaggerate our value proposition as an organization to a client so you can win a deal. And when in the industry that we work with, like I said, government, we work with regulated industries. Some of my clients that I work with are health authorities and banks and insurance organizations and fintechs, very heavily regulated through government bodies or the banking authority and so on. That person was putting numbers on board. But because, again, man, no. She just left because she couldn't understand the values that I was trying to instill in our team, in our middle management team, saying, this is what our value proposition is as an organization. And value proposition comes from the word values. This is what we believe in as an organization that we can deliver to our clients, to our partners. I don't care if you get the fucking deal. Yeah. It's fine. Anybody can get a deal. Anybody can sign a contract, right? But we have to do it this way. And our customers need to believe in our values. And if it means we lose a deal, a multi-million-dollar deal, a small deal, a 10-seater, I don't care, right? And because I think I was just saying, sales or being in growth equals sales, right? To grow in our business, you need to sell more contracts, grow, find more opportunities, and so on. And it all comes from communication. It all comes from working with people, talking to people, right? When a potential client, a potential contract, sign a contract with my organization, has nothing to do with, or has some with what the services are. The services in our industries are almost commoditized. Like everybody does the same thing. Just like if you look at the agencies, I work with some agencies in my company that do social media management and digital management for our existing clients. I work with multinationals as CRM relationships, and I work with boutique shops, boutique agencies, and and they're not my client, they are vendors of my client. They all provide the same services. What I'm going to do social media management. What's different? It's just social media management. As an example, I know it's not, I'm being ignorant because I don't know what I'm saying, or I'm not from that industry. But what makes a client sign with this organization versus this organization is the conversations that we build together with the senior management and the values that they see in values. I know it's a word we keep saying, values that they see in the person sitting in front of them. So I look at someone, and that's why I take care of my body. 100%. It's one of the reasons that helped me grow in my career as well. Because people see that one of my values is commitment. I commit to the gym. I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I've been doing it for the last 10 years of my life. That's commitment. And if someone's sitting in front of someone and he sees that, he knows that I will pass on that commitment to my job, to my deliverables, to my house, to my kids, and so on. Because it's an instilled value in you as a person. So that person didn't see that. That person just wanted the deal. Just wanted, okay, I'm going to get a commission out of this. I'm going to get a growth out of this. And they were right. Yeah, but it's not what we believe in and as an organization. And yeah, so that was someone that we had to let go recently. But other than that, everybody just falls off, man. If you're going that fast, and you're not going to be in my shoulder next to me while we're running together, you're going to just fall off. Right, and you're going to trip, and that's what happens. People just fall off because they can't follow. That's really it.
Makes sense. And how do you make sure that these 2,000, 2,500 people move in one direction all the time?
Okay, so what we do, maybe also I'll give you just a bit of context on what our organization does. So we are, the industry that I'm in is BPO, business process outsourcing. Predominantly on CX management, customer experience management, okay? So the majority of our staff, the majority of our team is the soldiers that we call, or the frontliners that we call our team, are the teams that support the organizations, our clients, in their interactions, on their day-to-day interactions with their clients. So for example, your company, Iglo, right? Organization, the company that you lead, grows enough to have an 800 number for sales, whatever it is. So for people to call you, want ideas and so on. My team or our teams build that infrastructure for you. So you have the infrastructure to engage with your existing and potential clients through an omni-channel, multi-channel environment. So the infrastructure, the telephony, your social media pages, your digital channels, your emails and so on, all set up in one core team, right? To manage your interactions so you can deliver the best customer experience possible for your clients. So, and that's the majority of our team. The majority of our team are people that work with all of our clients. So it's if we have 2,000 employees, 2,500 employees, they're broken up into around, I would say, 35 clients, 35 to 40 clients, okay? Which adds a bit of a challenge as well, because in order for my team to deliver the best customer experience possible for your organization, then my team needs to believe in your organization's values and what you want to deliver to your end users. And so we embed our teams into the organizations that we work with as our clients. They're sitting at my office, they're taking their interactions at my office and so on, but they need to feel the identity that, hello, thank you for calling Igloo, this is Zach, how can I help you? They need to feel that ownership, right? That I'm part of you, although they're my employees. Which adds a bit of the challenge to the question that you asked, which is how do you have everybody move in one direction, right? So it comes down to the leadership teams on top of. So every team that we have, there's like a structure that we put in place for a span of control. Let's put it that way. That for every 15, 20, 30 people, there's a specific leader that's in place that takes care of their growth, their training, their knowledge, their timelines, and so on and so forth. And what we do also is I know it's more on the financial side of our business, but we incentivize our staff to develop themselves through our online. So we've built our online Excellence Academy because, like I said, we're a CX company. So we have an online Excellence Academy that we built internally as an organization where people go in. I want to know how to calculate NPS, for example, just a Net Promoter Score, which is one of the KPIs or SLAs that we get assessed on as an organization. They go online, they get a course also that we've built internally. They get qualified, they get a certificate, and based on that, they also get incentivized numerically, like from a compensation perspective, right? So what that helped us with is it helped our core team, which are predominantly newcomers, new graduates, fresh grads, people that just finished their uni, if not still in uni, is learn what it takes for us as an organization to make our clients happy. Because if someone as an entry job, just started as a call center agent, decides to go in on this Excellence Academy and learn about, I'm going to use NPS again, Net Promoter Score again. Then this person will understand what it takes us as an organization to deliver that NPS score for his client, the one that he's working with. So it's these two things in my point of view. So the middle management of any organization, whether it's a 2,000 employee organization or a 100 employee organization, I think is the most important pillar of what keeps that organization or that machine running. And we always look for internal growth. And that's why we've developed this economy for our middle management. So everybody in our middle management team started as an agent at some point in their career, including myself. Like I said, I started as a call center agent. So they knew what it took to get to that. And now, because they have the knowledge and their middle management, they know what it takes as an organization to make our clients happy. So yeah, I think it's a combination of that.
And how often do you meet the core team?
Every day. So the core team, so again, maybe because we are spread out in multiple cities and we have multiple offices. So the office I sit in, we have around 400 employees. Then
who reports to you?
So
what's their role?
So we have ops teams, finance teams, MIS teams, reporting teams, HR and recruitment. And because recruitment is a very big, and that's maybe another point. When it's a company that large, especially in the UAE, where we're very expat driven, our organization is very expat driven. We have, alhamdulillah, we have very good Emiratization percentages. I'm sitting at 23% Emirati. So out of that number, there's 23% Emirati staff, Emirati nationals, local talent, which has been a great journey as well. Comes with its challenges of growth and locations. But anyway, so finance, recruitment and training, quality, and the ops teams and the project management teams. So it's about 6 to 7 teams and the commercial team, obviously.
Right.
Sales.
So 6, 7 heads report to you. You work only with them and they work with their teams?
No, I work with everybody. So you asked me who these are the ones that report into me, right? But I work with as I work with our workforce analysts. So when, let's say we're working on a bid now, right? Large company, government, we need to do some workforce calculations that requires how many FTEs we need and whatever. We do a gathering, everybody, whoever can put value, I meet.
But they don't report to you.
No, they don't report to me.
So these 6-7 people report to you.
Yeah, but nobody, and that's even a chairman, when he walks into my office, he doesn't know it's not that I don't see these reporting lines. Reporting lines are important to keep structure, especially with an organization that big. But because I love to get my hands dirty, I like to always be involved with the small nitty gritty bits, which keeps me up to date in what's going on in a very fast evolving industry. Because I can just sit on the top and watch reports and read industry trends and to learn about the industry and the changes that's going on in the industry. But the easier way is just go down on the floor and see what's going on and be with part of the team. So
as Mafia, there's no like weekly management meetings.
We obviously have our weekly, not weekly. We have our monthly management meetings.
Okay.
We have weekly huddles, and because it's just a very fast-paced industry that we're in, there's always things going on. There's always clients, there are always meetings and clients complaining and vendors not delivering on time and so on. There's always things going on. But scheduled, we have our monthly meetings. We have our QBRs.
This is like management meeting.
Yeah, we do. But when your day-to-day is already involved so much, it doesn't add value. I know it sounds controversial, monthly meetings and quarterly meetings and all that.
Yeah.
The only ones that I really like, is our budgeting, our forecasts, because obviously the costs are involved. But monthly meetings? Why do I need a monthly meeting when I'm always on the floor, when we're always together anyways? Yeah. Yes, to get strategy and guidelines, it could be in an email, right?
So for some companies it's relevant, for some it's not. Do you think from what you are going through, CEOs get or feel lonely at the top?
From what I'm going through? No. From what I've seen? Yes. From what I'm going through? No.
So it doesn't have to be.
No.
It's the CEO's decision if they want to take a step back from everybody and work in silos.
And I'm pretty sure you've seen it where people that go into those roles when they grew into those roles within a certain organizations, but they came from outside. When they grew within the organization to that role, you've seen the two scenarios. I'm pretty sure you've seen the two scenarios. As soon as I get into that role, I don't want to say okay, I'm going to step back. I'm going to sit on the top of the pyramid. I'm just going to be in a silo. I'll meet with the team, like you said. But no, from my perspective, from what happened with me, no. I'm always engaged with the team. I love it, and I think it's one of the success factors. One of me personally, why I succeeded personally, is because the team don't look at me as CEO. The team don't look at me as the one with the highest paid salary, biggest desk, biggest decision making in the company. Although I am, but that's not how they look at me. We were all in this together because it's maybe because we were lucky. Because they were also part of that growth. They were there 7-8 years ago when I joined, right? So we did it together. We grew in folds together. We had to put the work in together. So it's not like I was in the background and they did it, or vice versa. We were rubbing shoulder to shoulder to grow. Nobody had to sit on that high table. So they feel comfortable around me. They just walk in. I actually thinking of me making an open door policy, but yes, they walk into the office, they sit down, they talk. Hey, I have a problem with an agent, there's maybe 7-10 layers. So no, it doesn't have to be lonely. It's a choice. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong, but one is more fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Of course, yes.
One is when you love it.
What about limiting beliefs? That's something that I've been hearing and thinking about. Limiting beliefs. Yani, sometimes you feel like I cannot do it. That's a limiting belief. You're just limiting. You're believing. You're believing in something. So did you have, or what limiting belief did you kill to operate at that level?
holy crap, your questions, man. These are really good questions. What limiting beliefs did I stop or did I hold to get to where I am? I should have prepared for this. Just kidding. Limiting beliefs. So I'm an overthinker. That's like, I'm just trying to think of things, but I've always been an overthinker. And that has held me back at certain points in my career. That has held me back in certain things. And I'll tell you why. So in my job, in our career, like I said, a lot of it is driven by communication. So on the phone, right? One of my first jobs in the first company that I worked with was, like I said, a telesales agent. I used to call companies like Iglo. Hello, Iglo, how are you? This is Zach. I'm calling you from XYZ, and I want to convert your sound system from X to Y, as an example. So I used to sell business solutions, and there was a script that I had to follow. There was a hi, thank you. There was a script, like a call flow script that I had to follow, and there were rebuttals for objections. So whenever you say an objection, no, I'm not interested. What's the rebuttal for it? Okay, I understand, Bassem. I hear you. And then you go into your rebuttal, right? There was a flow that was designed and built by people that knew what they were doing. And I didn't back then. But because I always used to overthink, even on my phone calls and even on my sales interactions, I used to anticipate the response before it comes. So I used to subconsciously have that objection in my mind that Bassem is going to say he's not interested.
Yeah.
And because subconsciously I have it in my mind, it affects your conscious as well. It affects how I interact with you in the moment.
But that's you being smart. That's not your limiting belief.
No. But it has helped me back because
Did it? And you stopped it?
100%. And
but it helped you, you're saying?
No, it didn't help me. It held me back because...
But it gave you the solution, you said, right?
Okay, so the solution for me was to, believe it or not, stand in front of a mirror. And that's what my manager told me. Yeah, that's what my manager back then, and was he's one of my mentors until today. That is someone that I still look up to until today. He said, listen, I need you to write the script, go in front of a mirror or have the script printed and go and pitch yourself in the mirror 20, 30 times every single day. And wallah Bassam, that's exactly what I used to do. I used to take the script, and I was young back then. I didn't have kids. I even used to have my wife stand behind a freaking mirror as if she's a caller, right? So because he said, I need you to look at your body language, because he listened to my calls and saw how my interactions was. And he was the one that figured it out, not me. He was the one that said, listen, Zach, you're great on the phone. You're great with customers. You listen to what they're saying, but you anticipate their problem. So it's always in your mind and it's affecting how you deliver the rebuttal. How do you deliver the answer to I'm not interested? I was like, guys, can't be real. Yeah. He said, okay, go type the script and go in front of a mirror. And he was right. Because I was in front of a mirror and I was not talking to anybody, I was a lot better.
So what is that limiting belief?
So it's not a limiting belief.
It's not a limiting belief.
No, it's not.
It's just a habit. It's just a habit. It's not a limiting belief.
Give me an example type.
The limiting belief is you not believing that you can achieve something. Yani you talk to people and they be like, me leading a 2,500 company? Like, no fucking way. Like, I cannot do it. Or me climbing to Everest? No way. Some people, most of us have these limiting beliefs. I cannot do it. I cannot jump. I cannot dive. I cannot swim in the ocean. I cannot do a triathlon. A lot of people have this, and that's why most people don't succeed. Most people don't reach their ultimate self in all the areas that are important to them. That's why most people have regrets. That's why most people today have regrets on a daily basis, and that's to your slogan.
Yeah, I know.
Do today what
others won't. So I can lift them. Yeah,
at the end of the day, when you go to bed, and people like you and me, I know it, and you know it. Maybe not in every area, but I go to bed most of the days proud of everything that I've done.
100%. You're right.
And sometimes if I go and drink and I
switch off for a bit,
like why did I do it? And I feel bad, right?
100%.
And these are to continue on that. And these are people like you and I don't have limiting beliefs maybe in certain areas because, it shows and whatever. We're these type of, but most people don't have it. And you and I might have limiting belief in some areas. And maybe that's why we're not yet successful in all the areas that we want. Are you successful in all the areas that you want, that you care about?
Not yet.
Okay.
Are
you doing everything about, or you're not believing that you can be that best in all these areas? So that's the limiting belief.
Okay. Understood. So I think in certain areas in my life, not necessarily just work, right? In my career, at home, with my kids, I think there are some limiting beliefs. I mean, maybe I need to think more about them, but again, it's a slogan world. I don't think there's anything that I can put my mind to that I can't achieve. And if I can't for whatever reason, I just need to find the reason and change it. I've always wanted to start my own company, for example, right? First attempt, 23 years old. Failed miserably. Still an employee. I was a middle management somewhere, can't remember where. And I said, you know what? I got this. This is a piece of cake. Why can't I do it myself? Same industry, right? Gathered a couple of clients that believed in me and said, okay, if you do it yourself, we'll do it. Had a couple of people around me, people that I've built, team members and so on. But I didn't have the financial expertise. I was too young. And I knew how to manage clients. I knew how to manage my employees. I knew how to manage expectations in terms of the deliveries and so on, but I didn't know how to manage finances. I didn't know who to pay first. So I got my first client payment. What do? Do I pay rent? Do I pay salaries? I was still young, right? I was still like maybe 3-4 years into my career. I don't want to say fail miserably. I know I use it a lot. That's when everybody asks me, what was it? It was a great learning experience because I learned it the hard way. You can be witty, you can be great with clients, you could be great with your employees, but if you don't have the fundamentals, you can still fall flat on your ass, right? And I didn't have the fundamentals back then. So it's not a limiting belief, but it's something that I know I didn't have.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years, I had it. I knew what it takes. I knew that it takes financial resilience. It takes the cash flow planning. I know we're talking about a lot of like the maybe nitty gritties, but it took cash flow planning, forecasts and budgeting in order, because I already had everything else down in my perspective. I knew how to manage clients. I knew how to close deals. I knew how to manage people, but I didn't know how to manage the financials. So I learned it the hard way, so it's not, I don't think it's a limiting belief. And I honestly believe that anybody, not just me, and I know you probably believe the same value, that if you set your mind to something, whatever that something is, I'm not saying something crazy like I'm going to walk on the fucking moon, but something realistic goal. I want to get this body fat percentage. I want to become a senior manager in 10 years. I want whatever it is, whatever the goal is. If you set your mind and you really your beliefs are 100% authentic, not a slogan. They might be built on slogans, but you have to believe in the freaking slogan, or you have to believe in that statement. Then you're just going to find out what's the missing part. For me, back then, I understood that the missing part was the financial awareness, for example. Yeah, I don't think there's limiting factors. And if there are, you set them yourself. There's like you put your own limiting factors, or nobody's born with them.
Right.
So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
So now you're a 2,500 people company. Do you have a goal to grow it from 2,500 to a certain number?
Yeah, so I'm looking at, the goal is a valuation goal.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking. Obviously, it'll come from growth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are...
How many people do you need to become to hit that valuation goal?
Very interesting. We're always debatable now internally. So, and that's where the yucky conversation comes in.
Yeah.
Where shall I cut costs? Shall I be more optimized so I can get better margins?
Yeah.
So I don't have to grow as much and increase my liabilities and become a more valuable company? Or shall I just focus on my top line and got more clients and just grow and whatever? So it's a combination of both. So our industry is, I don't want to say attacked or threatened, because it's a word that something that a lot of people are saying.
By AI?
Yeah, there you go, right? AI has a big play in our industry. There's a big play in CX and contact centers. And I'm pretty sure if you call 9 out of the 10 apps that you have on your phone today and try to call their contact center and their customer experience team, the first interaction will be with a bot, right? So it's a big play in our industry. So the goal is a certain valuation number that we're trying to hit. Our goal is to hit that valuation number in 2 years from today, right? And it's going to require a lot of optimization as an organization in introducing, we already have, but more enablement of AI to optimize our bottom lines as an organization without affecting
the quality and service.
Not the quality and service only, but this people's well-being, man.
Oh, yeah.
People's well-being. And it's a debate I always have with the founders and the shareholders and so on. I believe in people. I grew because of people. I work with people every day, whether it is internal or external and so on. So, I'm not saying I'm pushing back on AI changing anything in our industry, but the way we employ, because that's how I look at it as an employee. The way we employ AI in our organization is to support, is as an aiding tool, not a replacement tool. Not, although that's what the world fears, that AI will take the jobs of X, Y, Z, and so on. But yeah, our goal is evaluation. We set those goals every year. Our other goal is more expansions. So,
do you have a limiting belief that you will achieve these numbers?
Oh yeah, they're not a limiting. It's a limiting fact, maybe not belief.
Yeah.
It's just to grow that fast is also. I don't want to say scary, but it requires us to be really competent in our planning, because if you're going from a 50 employee to 75 or 100 employee, okay, it makes sense. It not makes sense, but the moving parts are a lot smaller, right? But when you're trying to double a 2,000 employee company to a 4,000 employee company, the economies of scale make it so important that the fundamentals that we spoke about are there, that people don't fall off, like we said. Your core team don't fall off, because you can wear them out as well. And we've gotten to that point. At certain points, we've gotten to that place where we were worn out. We were spread out too thin. We were launching sites in Bahrain and in Fujairah and in Al Ain at the same time with a core team of 15, 20 people. And that's what we did that was also very good, is that MNCs, and you see that with MNCs versus more nimble organizations. The proportion of growth of an organization equates to the same overhead growth as an organization. That's why MNCs are expensive compared to smaller boutique shops.
Correct.
But what we did is our growth with our core team, it was still with the same core team. We did grow relatively, but not at the same scale, which made our job more fulfilling, yet a lot harder, right? Because the span of control was a lot harder. So it's not a limiting belief. There are some limiting facts,
right,
to grow that quick and for growth. Maybe you don't have the cash flow. You need maybe.
But it's not a limiting belief. It's not you. It's
no, it's facts.
Okay.
No.
Facts. Okay.
فاهم قصدي?
What advice did you receive that turned out to be completely wrong?
Oh, what advice did I receive that turned out to be completely wrong?
From a mentor, from an ex-CEO, from your father, from your uncle, people that you looked up to, and they told you this is the way, and this is the only way.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure you've heard it. It's so the statement, do whatever it takes. Anything that follows after that line, I don't believe. That's me personally. It's not do whatever it takes, because if you just leave it at do whatever it takes to grow, do whatever it takes to
make that client happy.
To make that client happy, right? If you just put that statement as is between brackets and apply it, then you do whatever it takes, which we mentioned in a while ago. Bend the truth.
Yeah.
Undercut the price. Bad about your competitor. So I've so in contacts in telesales environments, I'm not sure if you've ever walked into a contacts at like a telemarketing or a telesales environment. It was a US based company that I started work with, and it's a very full of energy place. And have you seen the movie Boiler Room or Wolf of Wall Street? Or you have? Of course you have Wolf of Wall Street. So it is that environment where people are on the phone, sometimes bullshitting their way over a call, lying to someone. I'm not so if I'm supposed to lying to someone over the phone, saying X 1 2 3, I can give you 1 2 3, and lying so they can get the deal. And that was one of my first managers that I worked with. As I think I was a closer, maybe a call center agent, and he was my closer.
Do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes. Get me that freaking deal. It's the end of the month. I might lose my commission. I'm not going to do whatever it takes. Because if I do whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes to get you the deal. But the repercussions that will happen based on that, me getting that deal, forget the company. Morally is going to affect you your entire life, right? So that's something I don't believe in. That do whatever it takes to get a deal or to grow. Or okay, you need to be hungry. You need to do certain things that most people might not do. Like I said, do today what others won't, right? But not do whatever it takes. So I think that statement is loaded, if not given in the right direction. So, and I've heard it so many times. I'm pretty sure you do as well. So yeah, that is, I call BS on that.
Makes sense. Yeah, and these are values.
Yeah.
Because some people in my industry as well, just like yours, they would do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Just take any deal.
Yeah.
And make as much money from your client.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And maybe they make more money than us, but then it's just a decision how you want to live your life.
Yeah, and because our industries we're in a very competitive market, but we're also a very small market compared to the world. Yeah, we're GCC.
Some
UAE,
people
right?
don't care though.
I know, but
like
what
some
goes
people
around comes
like
around.
that.
Though what goes around
some
comes
people
around.
don't care. Some people I know, some people in my industry.
Yeah,
they don't care. They just want to cut corners. They want to put the highest margin. They buy media, the cheapest media. They don't care about the client. The client doesn't know. They fake reports. This is happening.
Yeah, but see, I agree. And that would have worked. And that was
Bro, it works. And it still works with the biggest media companies that I know and the biggest advertising companies. And these are people that are successful. They make shit tons of money because clients don't know.
That's what I was about to say. Clients used to not know, right? Back in the day, it was easier for people in our industry to get a good deal, put high margins, get lower costs, and make a ton of money because the clients are not aware as much. They are not as informed. Some don't even care when you're talking to big organizations. But now that client doesn't know, circle of clients that don't know, is becoming smaller in every industry. Everything is accessible. The knowledge is accessible all over the place. Plus, because our industries are so small, like I was saying, what goes around comes around. One day, these contracts always go for renewals. People look at new vendors all the time. If I now know that Bassem screwed me in his last deal, gave me this, like you said, the lowest cost media, put a 20.
They won't know, man. I'm telling you because that's how the
competitors. I know,
and it's based on values.
I know,
Anna, for me, for example, I believe whatever it is that what goes around comes around.
That's what I was just saying.
I am that person, but some people don't care. They just want to screw others. They want to take advantage of others. I feel like if I do something bad, it's gonna come back to me.
100%.
So that's why I don't do it, and not because I am better or whatever. You know what I mean?
But it also works the other way around. If you do something good, it will come back to you as well.
That's what we think. That's what we believe. Ma barif. I don't know. So the point is...
I've seen the success of it as well as in my industry, man. I'm being completely transparent. So,
but at the same time, there's a lot of dickheads out there.
Yeah.
A lot of dickheads.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying
from the biggest billionaires and the biggest, most successful people that we know of and we follow online.
Yeah.
Some of them are the worst people and they're still super successful and they still are the most followed people in the world. Yeah. And they are, bad people if you want to call them, but they do it the wrong way. They don't care about others. They're selfish. They want to take credit for everything. They just want to screw anything and everybody.
Yeah.
They
do whatever it takes, right?
So and it works.
Yeah, I know it does sometimes, but yeah.
If your company disappeared tomorrow, who are you without it?
Holy crap, man! Where do you get these questions from?
ChatGPT.
If my company goes
AI, bro. AI.
No, we were just talked about it. I know. So, if our company goes tomorrow,
If your company goes tomorrow,
disappears
tomorrow,
Okay,
who are you without it?
I would be exactly myself. I mean, I don't know what you mean by who I am.
That's exactly the question.
No, I'll be me.
Who are you, Yani?
And I'll be the same person that loves working with people. That I think I would have proven within my industry and peers and colleagues and whatever that I work great with people, and I love working with people. I guess that's the better statement. That's what people know about me, right? So people don't know. So when people look at our company and my company that I work with, they don't look at us because we're and it's just going back to what we were saying. So in my space, there's probably 15. I know it's smaller than media, but there's probably 10 to 15 companies in the UAE. Okay. So we all know each other. So all the leaders of all the BPOs, every single one of them in the region are either friends, actually all our friends, are either ex-colleagues, ex-peers, ex-managers, ex-team members. Of every single BPO that I work with, right? So we're all friends. We all gather up when I see him somewhere. Oh, you took this deal from us, whatever. You undercut my price. Oh, wallah, fahim, you undercut my price. ليه عملت كده and so on. So we're all friends. But people know what they know our organization with is those values. And I know it sounds too cheesy and whatever, but that's what will be left behind. That, yep, there was this great company that Triaz was taken over by AI, or whatever the reason is that it'll disappear tomorrow. There was this great company that was led by a great group of people that built this amazing story of 2,000 employees that are now across whatever they'll end up going. So for me, nothing will change. It's not like I will, I guess, spend more time with my family. That's one. But that's really it. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Where will I be? But I'll be the exact same person. I'll still be the person that has people around them, because that's how I excel. I like working with people.
And if you had to start everything from zero today, what would you do differently?
Very good question. I will start believing in these values and these slogans earlier. Wallah, I will start believing in them earlier.
Yeah.
Because when you first start your career, you're just going through your motions. You just come, you take your job, you do your 9 to 5s, get a salary and walk out. There are certain realization points in your life that build these values for you. So one, like I was saying, when I saw the joy in a person after I got her a deal, that was one realization point. When I realized that I have the people skills and I love working with people, but don't know the fundamentals, the core fundamentals, that was another turning point in my career. And all these build certain values that, okay, I need to be resilient. It's fine. I'll fall down and wake up. That's a value. It's okay. I failed in my business, whatever. Never say no to an opportunity. I learned that very early because, like I said. So these are all values, certain turning points that you pick up throughout your career. And based on those values, you start making career moves, decisions, and so on. So if I would do something different, I would believe in myself and those values a lot earlier than I did, because nothing would have changed. I'm still the same person that I was 25 years ago. I still have, in my point of view, I still love working with people. And I've always loved working with people back then. I was always very social. I was always someone in school. I was the troublemaker. I was the one that's always, which is a skill I've had since I was young. So I would start believing in myself that I can do what I want today so I can live tomorrow better.
Yeah.
A lot earlier. I realized that at a certain stage. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
I have one last question.
One last question? Okay. I don't know where you bring them on. These are interesting questions.
For someone watching that wants to build the company that size, what should they understand before they start?
That no empire legacy, although sometimes there's a figure that is visible to everybody in any legacy, any empire, any dynasty, there's always a figure, right? Will ever be built alone with one person. You need to surround yourself with people that you believe, because they might not necessarily have the same values or same goals or same drivers from the get-go, but you believe will have those same values and those same goals, and there's the same drive that you have, even if they don't have it, but you must see that at some point they will have it. Because when especially in industries and especially in careers because you can be a financial trader, right? And you can be a successful trader. That doesn't really, there's not a lot of people interaction, especially with Forex and crypto nowadays. You can just open a couple of screens in front of you and be smart in trading and knowing when to sell and buy and all that crap, which I've never really been into. It's not a people's industry. You can be a successful billionaire from it, but you don't really work with people. But in industries like ours, where you interact with people on a daily basis, I interact with people at work more than I interact anywhere else in the world. Home, gym, whatever it is, right? So in industries like that, you need to surround yourself with people and a team and a family, because that's what I call them. They're my family. I spend more time there. That you believe even if they don't have those core values that you believe in, that will make you successful, that they will get those values at some point, because you're going to rely on them. They're going to rely on you, because it's a team. It's the team, in my point of view, is knowing that some of these values are real, even if we've overused them. I have one more that I always walk around with. It's the 3 F's. I have faith in myself, although sometimes I fall, sometimes I don't have my skills up to par yet, sometimes, right? I have faith in God, whatever God it is you believe in, whatever faith you have, I have faith in that, and I have faith in people. One will never fail you. If you believe in whatever faith you have in, will always fail you. It will always come to your support at some point in your life. One, you might get hurt. You might get stepped on from people, right? I might have faith in Bassem as a great, friend, great. I have faith in you, right? Some people will misuse that faith and bend the truth, lie, whatever it is, backstab, whatever it is. So you might get hurt. You might get a couple of steps back from those, which is fine. It's still a learning experience. And most importantly, faith in yourself, right? And that's maybe going back to the question about limiting beliefs. It's not that I don't have limiting beliefs, but I have faith in myself. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm good at. And I know, it's not cockiness, but I know that these are my skills, and I shape these skills to my advantage at home, at the gym, at my outings, at work, whatever it is. It's the same. It's not like I switch on Zach or a different Ahmed at work than I do at home or everywhere else, right? So I think that's what I would give as advice in our industry or any industry that requires working with people and being around people, is surrounding yourself. If you're going to start a company or if you're going to start building something like this, is to surround yourself with the right people that have the same values, or you believe will have the same values down the line, because that is more important than anything else. But
not only that, right? Because surrounding yourself with, so yes, 100% yes, but that's not the only thing, right? Because if you want to build a company, 2,000 employee company, that requires so many different things.
Of course.
So other than having great people, because you need great people in any organization. If you have not the right people, you're not going to grow, you're not going to succeed, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So great people is one. What else? To build such a big business.
Okay, so there are the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals, okay, so you need proper cash flow planning. You need proper structure. You need the proper infrastructure. You need... But these are all trivial. These are all things that, I don't want to say you need. These are all must-haves anyways.
Right.
You must have proper infrastructure. You must have the correct financial planning in place. You need to have the right vendors in place for whatever technology you're going to use, etc. But these are all fundamentals that will not make a successful company, because you can have the great infrastructure, you can have the right vendors in place, you can have all the bells and whistles that would make this company great. But if you don't have the core team, and you can have the core team, right? You can have someone that's a great financial advisor, or like
what
a
about
CFO.
the CEO? What about the CEO? Who should be this person? Who should be that CEO to take a business from 50? Because look, man, the truth is, every business owner today that has a 10 employee or 50 or 100 employee, the winners at least, they want to make it,
of course,
to 1,000, to 5,000, 10,000 if possible.
Yeah.
We all want this, because the winners, the truth is, we want to win as much as we can.
Yeah, correct.
We want to become the best version of ourselves in all the areas that we're interested in. So what does it take? Who should be that person? لأنه today, you made it, all your competitors are 2,000 employee companies?
No, some are less and some were, but we outgrew.
So what does it, who's that guy?
So it's a combination.
Let's reflect on you a bit.
I know.
What does it take?
So it takes everything we just spoke about certain values that you need to have in place and so on, and beliefs and believing in yourself, and doing things that people will not do because they are sitting on a high chair or because that's not their job, and so you can reap the reward. So it's a combination of everything we just said, in my point of view, all these values, and we also touched base on it. Because our industries are quite niche, or the circles are known, you know, all the agencies in the region, probably you know their leaders, and so on. What goes around comes around, and what I mean by that is, one of the things that has helped me in my position to lead this organization is trust. And again, I know it sounds cheesy, but the founder, the guy that I met in 2019, trusted me, right? So he said, "Okay, I trust you. Here's the key."
Is he involved now?
Yeah, he's still involved, because it's a disease. Because it's a disease, or that's what he calls it himself.
Day to day?
No, not day to day, not the day to day. But because he has a great mindset. He has me, and we were just talking about it yesterday, me and him last night, on the similarities that we have in our personality and our values and our core beliefs, and what we would do for people to succeed, and taking care of our team and whatever. Although he's from a completely different culture, completely different background, etc. But because those values are the same, that's why we were both successful with each other. But just going back to why we outgrew and what led us to this growth. When the industry is that compressed, and that the boundaries of the competitor list and our vendors and so on are so small, it's not the services that stand out. It's not the price that stand out, because it's the same most of the time. The services, like we said, is relatively all the same and so on. It's the people that they deal with. It's the interactions that they have with the day-to-day people that they work with in managing the operation. So when they deal with a project manager, right, in our company, when my client feels that this project manager has the accountability of the CEO, the same accountability and the ownership and the sense of will do, they continue growing. They continue to grow with us. And going back to what you were saying, is that there's a lot of dickheads in the market that would do whatever it takes to win a deal and to bring a deal on board and to make higher margins. And you said it as well, what goes around comes around, is because people, at least in our industry, are becoming more aware. The UAE and the GCC has been in the forefront of digital transformation and AI and customer experience and patient experience and citizen experience in the entire Middle East, right? Especially the GCC, especially the UAE, right? So our end users and our clients and partners are becoming more savvy of our industry. They know what NPS scores are and CSAT scores are and what it takes and so on. So when you build those values and trust relationships with your clients, they one, they grow with you. Two, they're in it for the long run. They are not in it for the short. They don't look us as vendors. They look at us as partners, long-term partners. I've not lost one single contract from our existing clients for the past 7 years. Not
Amazing.
one to our competitors. Or we take on from our competitors, not because we're better, not because we provide different services. It's the same job. It's exactly the same. Yes, we might have different processes and so on, but at the end of the day, it's someone picking up the phone and saying, "Hello, thank you. This is Ahmed. Thank you for calling Igloo." It's the same thing, right? But it's because of that relationship that we've built with them. It's because of that trust that we've built them. Because
who's us? You?
So I lead most of that because I want to be part of that initial engagement and that initial handshake and that initial...
And you still deal with clients?
Yeah, on a daily basis.
With these same clients? So your clients, use these 30, 40 clients that you have, you deal with them personally?
Not all of them, but I try to do all of them. But yeah, I deal with them personally, with the people, with their CEOs.
But that's not why they're happy. That's not why they're staying. They're happy and staying because of your teams.
Because the team has the same values. Because the team has the same
so
accountability.
What do they do so what does your team do that your competitors don't?
They, I'll use you as an example again. As like, so I'm the leader of that company, but you don't interact with me on a daily basis. So let's say I'm your vendor, whatever the vendor is, for whatever services. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure you have vendors.
So let's talk about me personally today and my clients. Let's say I have 70 clients today.
Okay. So, good. I wanted to flip this story, but let's still use you. You have 70 clients that you deal with. And if you don't have time to interact because of your role, because of what you're doing, your growth, etc., to interact with the 70, then you're going to rely on your team. You're going to rely on your project leads, your whoever it is. And again, economies of scale and how big an organization makes a difference. But you're going to rely on your team if you're not there. Your client, if he feels that I'm speaking to you, to Bassem, because you're the owner, you're going to do everything I want to. I'm your client. You're the most powerful person. If I tell you, I want you to cut my price, I want you to give me this extra service. I have a problem. I'm speaking to the owner. He's going to fix it for me, etc. So that's why everybody wants to speak to all of your clients. Probably want to speak to you or speak to what they feel would be the most influential person in an organization. But if that most influential person in an organization can't dedicate some time to specific clients because of growth, because of travel, because of focus on certain areas and so on, then your team comes in place. And if the client feels while interacting with that team that they are just as passionate, they have the exact same values, they believe in everything Bassem believes in, then they feel comfortable. That's why I was saying we were lucky and fortunate that our core teams that we've built together, because they were part of our growth, have those same values. So that's what they do. They make our clients feel that they are the owners of the company and they work on their behalf. So regardless what title or what cap they have on, a CEO, a project manager, an account manager, a sales manager, all have that same. Yes, they might not have the same autonomy of power, like what to do and what cut cost or whatever. But that's what they get that they don't get from our competitors, and I know that for a fact, right?
So what is it like if you want to summarize it or in one word? What is it? Service, attention, flexibility, bending, leveling up. What is it?
No, so. In the service industry, because we're in a service industry, and I don't know if you would call
like that specifically compared like that because you described it. What is it in one word that makes you bigger or makes you retain more clients than the competitors?
Okay,
to me, like what do I need to do today as an agency owner, because I'm in exactly the same space as you, service business. I have same competitors. We offer the same business.
Of course.
Mazboot. So what is that one thing? If you are today my advisor, one word, what is it? What do I need to change?
Change? I don't know. Change
or continue doing. So, what is that one word?
Okay. So
one word.
Empowering your team. I know I'm when it comes to people.
Empowering your team. Yeah. That's it.
Empowering. But in order to empower, like.
So of course have the right team first of all,
exactly,
and give them the trust, empower them,
just like it came from all the way on the top.
Just like the Ritz-Carlton did. I think it's the Ritz-Carlton did. Any person in the organization, any person in the entire organization, has the right to give something for free to any client, to any the guest.
Yes, there you go. Sorry.
They can give them anything for free, up to $2,000.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So a cake, a lunch, flowers, a room, whatever it is, up to no need for any approval.
Of course, obviously every industry is different.
So it's that's empowerment.
Because what comes with empowerment, if I'm your client and you're not there, and I speak with your team and I speak with someone in your team and I feel that he's that empowered, he has the same values, and he can. So why would I go anywhere? Why? Because our business is built on relationship.
Yes.
It's very relationship dependent, right?
Yes.
And what we've seen with some of our clients that we brought on board for some of our competitors is that was one of the missing things. Is that if they needed to fix anything, they needed to speak to the owner.
Love it.
So yeah, that's
tough, man. I know we have to go.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Oh man, it's been interesting.
We can continue for
and
10
I love
hours.
your questions.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I love your questions.
Awesome.
They're very
nice that you're transparent.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best, man.
Habibi, thank you very much.
Yalla. I'll see you at the gym.
Inshallah. Yeah, thank you.
Man.
Habibi, so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and good luck. Cheers.